I am live, aren't I? Um, Probably gonna give it 30 seconds to a minute, see if anybody comes in. Um, Probably won't happen. I did make an announcement on the Facebook page, my Facebook page. So if any of my Facebook friends see the post, I hope they come over and say hello at least. Um, if you're watching this after the live gets posted, um, and for anybody that happens to be watching and it's not notifying me, and I'll mention it a couple times throughout the stream. In the description, there is a link to my Patreon page. There's free memberships. You can view it without being a member. There is $1 a month membership, which just supports the channel. There's nothing special about it. I may eventually do some Patreon member exclusive streams. I was talking to a buddy of mine who is kind of, I don't know if he's a Christian or not, but he'll post Bible verses, he'll talk about Christian things, but I'm not sure where he sits on the whole issue. That being said, we've been live for almost 2 minutes, so I've got to do my advertising for the people that I work for, my employers. There's only so many days left in September. One of my employers is Quality Automotive and Brewer. They're running a $50 off a brake service special this month. It's almost over, but you can put snow tires on as of October 1st. So if you need some snow tires, mechanical work, anything automotive related, you can give Chris a call at Quality Automotive, 922-2043. It helps me, helps them, whatever. Winter is coming, so my second employer is John out at O'Neill's Power Equipment in Holden. So if you need your snowblower service, or you want to do an end of season service on your riding lawnmower, push mower, weed whacker, anything like that, you can give John a call at 989-5300. Again, that's O'Neill's Power Equipment in Holden. It's right behind the go-kart track. And again, Patreon link in the description. I have Bible studies and breakdowns and messages in PDF form, free to download. But I mentioned my friend a few minutes ago that I don't know if he's like on the fence or not sure, but we were talking today about community. Like what I talk about over on my Facebook live streams is the combination of like teaching people, whether they're religious or secular or whatever, teaching people, or I guess teaching or educating people on how to grow their own food, raise their own livestock, kind of having at least a hand in building their own structure, their own shelter. Oh, my arms are still smoked from arm wrestling practice on Sunday. Not as bad as like Wednesday, but man. It's just a little hobby of mine, a pastime, whatever. Every other week I go to practice, and usually for the rest of the week my arms are smoked. I do have, if anybody has Cash App, or if you don't have Cash App, and if thinking about using Cash App, we can work together. You can get $15. I can get $15. That's kind of my little money plug. But I do use Cash App for direct deposit from my primary employer at Quality Automotive and Brewer. That all gets kind of divvied out mostly into savings, because in Cash App you can have different, I call them folders, but different savings accounts. I have one for my phone. I have one for propane. I have one for gas, and I have one for property taxes. That kind of is the big money things. And then a small portion, like 5% of my check, goes into stocks, which my primary stock right now is Realty Income, ticker symbol O. It pays out every month. It's not a huge yield, but it is over 5%, which is better than the savings on Cash App, which is 3.75%. Let's see if I get comfortable here. And a lot of talk lately, I don't know if anybody's locals have heard, or even people from out of the area. One warming center announced that it would not be opening this winter, and that was unfortunate. That was about 25 people, 30 people, or 25 to 30 spots in that warming center that aren't going to be available. And that was, I want to say, like 2 weeks ago. And then it was just within the last 3 days or so, sometime this week, another warming center announced that it would not be opening due to a paperwork error. So that's probably another, I can't remember what the last couple of winters they've had, like 30 or 40 people. So 60 to 70 people, or 60 to 70 spots are not going to be available for people at a warming center. And that same friend that I was talking to this morning, we were talking about how we're coming to a precipice, an edge, a cliff, where eventually people are going to start dying. A lot of people are going to start dying because they have nowhere to go. And yes, the warming centers do great work. The homeless shelters do great work. Soup kitchens, food pantries, they all do great work. They keep people fed, housed, warm, and clean. What I'm proposing is something, the next step in that whole process is, like I said a few minutes ago, is giving people a place where, and I was telling my friend this, I call it settling out. When you're on the streets, you're always in survival mode. You're always trying to figure out, where's the next meal? Where's my next spot to sleep? Where am I going to get my next fix, if that's their thing? Not all homeless people are like that. But those that are willing, if I had the space, if I had the structures in place, I would be on the streets in Bangor right now, picking people up as fast as I could, giving them at least shelter. I may not be able to give them warmth yet because we don't have the infrastructure for that. But I think there's enough woods out there that we could clear the land that we've got access to, and then get access to other people's properties that we could manage. We're not going to take it over. We're just going to manage the woodland. We're going to take all the dead stuff. That's all going to be firewood. I'd like to have a central wood boiler to heat everybody's tiny house and the communal building. I have some people in the construction business, so it wouldn't take that much to build it. And I sat down, I think it was yesterday evening, and I did the math. My 8x10 tiny house at the time that I bought it, plus the insulation, they cost about $2,500. And that may sound like a lot, but say 75, get 75 people off the streets and into their own shelter and give them a chance to settle out mentally, physically, spiritually, it would cost $187,500. That sounds like a lot of money, but when you think about the amount of money that the city of Bangor has earmarked specifically to help the homeless, $20 million. Why haven't we built this yet? There's all kinds of examples on the west coast of the United States that show that this is possible and it helps people. It's pretty much the same, access is limited because Um, they do the same kind of thing that a homeless shelter and a warming center is going to do. They're going to search your stuff. They're going to search you. They're going to make sure you're not bringing in anything. I don't know if that means somebody commented. I don't know. I don't see any views up there, but so you'd get the person's bags would get searched, the person's person would get searched, and of course there's still going to be some rules, just like a warming center or a homeless shelter. This is kind of, like I said, a chance to settle out, and if you're going to come in high or looking to get high, it's not the place for you. But it's just giving the alternative or an option to what they expect everybody to do, which is get a job, get a place, get a vehicle if that's your thing, or take the bus or whatever. But that's expensive. If everybody was sharing expenses, it wouldn't be as expensive. People could get ahead and build up a savings and get their own, maybe buy their own piece of property, or a bunch, like 5 or 6 people that are friends or have become friends could pull together with their savings from this intentional community and build their own community. My goal is just to give people the option. And I've been doing Facebook Live for a while. I've been shooting people over here to YouTube, only because this is where I do the shorts, my YouTube shorts on the progress that I'm making with the wood chips, just as content. Of course, I don't know if you can see in the windows behind me, maybe right there, there's a big wood chip pile behind me. I'm here 5-6 days a week, getting approximately 70 or 80 gallons of wood chips every time I'm here. That works out to 450 gallons, maybe 500 gallons a week. I think I'm short a bin, so maybe I could get up above 80 gallons a day that I'm here, but I made a post about this. I shared the Brick Church announcement that they're not going to be open this winter, and I just made a little blurb above. I made my own kind of header, basically saying that I've been preaching this, maybe not online, but I've been preaching this for 13 years. 2012 is when I came up with the original idea for this intentional community thing. Those weren't even the words that I used. I had said to my friend, we were standing in supper line at the Hope House in Bangor, and I said to him, say there was 50 people in line, because that's an easy number. What if these 50 people were given a piece of property or allowed to access a piece of property? Somebody in that 50 people or multiple people in that group of 50 people know how to build stuff like houses. But if you're building tiny houses, it doesn't take up as much space. It's more efficient energy wise. You're not heating a big building. You're heating just one person, 2 people can live in an 8x10. My wife and I have done it. So it's just, if anybody ever watches this, please share it with a friend, somebody who cares, somebody who might be able to help this project move forward. I'm trying with the incomes that I have. It's very limited, because my life was chaos until about 2016. And then I started that settling out process. My mom gave me a chance. I moved in with her on her property. Tried several things locally to get work. Eventually, I had to move back to Bangor. A friend, thankfully, a very good friend of mine, helped me by letting me stay on his couch for a summer. I got a job. I got my license back. And sometimes we take 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I ended up losing that job. I tried working at other places. Didn't work out for 2 years, I think. I lived on the grace and help of my mother and my grandmother. And now I'm, almost a year into getting back to work. Still struggling from time to time. Right now we're doing okay. but I want to reach out to more people. And the only way I could do that was Facebook live stream and pushing people over here so I could get my subscribers up so I could go live over here. I'm going to do this every day I can. It's just, something's got to be done, and something's got to be done soon, or people are going to start dying, and it's not going to look good on the people that are holding the municipalities that are holding money that's specifically earmarked to helping the homeless. Going to those council committees and town meetings doesn't do anything because nobody listens, because they want it to be their idea and their initiative, where a grassroots movement like mine will never in the mainstream gain traction. I have to do it organically. So I've thought about doing merchandise, maybe, I don't know, maybe selling my PDF studies, some of the bigger ones. I've done 25, 26, 27 page studies, and those might be the ones that I put on the $1 a month membership, or just sell them individually. I don't know. I've gone through and looked at some of the Patreon options and what can be done and what the limits are. I can go live over there. I'm gonna hold that for maybe on Sundays, try to do a live church interaction. I don't know what to call it. So maybe I'll start setting up announcements, pushing people over there. I can't do clickable links on YouTube yet. I don't have enough traction or subscribers or whatever. I was curious to see if anybody would hop on, since I made the announcement on Facebook, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes ago, saying that I would be live over here, and I put a link to to the YouTube channel. Trying to think of anything else. Oh, I still don't have my modern language Bible, so we're still in the King James. And thought about going into the New Testament. Oh, I wanted to bring up, see if chapter 2 has the example that I'm looking for. Chapter 2 and chapter 4 of the book of Acts gives it a biblical example. Hold on. There we go. Chapter 2 and chapter 4 of the book of Acts gives biblical examples of the intentional community that I'm looking to establish. Where is it? Give me a minute. Okay. Looks like 44. And I'll go as far as the end of the chapter, verse 27. And it says, starting in verse 44, and all that believed were together, and had all things common, and sold their possessions and goods, and parted them to all men, as every man had need. And they, continuing daily with one accord in the temple, and breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart, praising God and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to the church daily such as should be saved. So, I'm not saying you should donate to my cause, but I'm saying that if the Lord puts it on your heart to give and help something, I'm thinking the Brick Church right now is the one that needs help. I spent 10 years chronically homeless in Bangor, a little bit in Portland, but I watched many people, not like first person, but many people have died by living on the streets. Some people real close to me. You know, I have a knife. That's a dead man's knife. I use it all the time. That man froze to death because he was more worried about getting a fix than getting warm. And I don't want people to be in that state of mind. We're meant for bigger things, better things. So I think I've rambled on long enough. I'm already at 21 minutes. Guess I'll get out and start shoveling some wood chips. Oh, sneeze. Bless me. Oh, let's see. Full bag. Some books. Grasses and Identification Guide by Lauren Brown. Excuse me. Herbal Home Hints by Louise Gruenberg. And Landscaping with Herbs by Nancy Ondra. Because next summer, whatever happens, we're going to have a garden and a landscape. Come on. Oh, yeah. Next time I got to put hashtags in there so people know. Oh, yeah. It's usually about 20 minutes of talking, 25 minutes of talking, 12 to 15 minutes of shoveling wood chips. If you're interested to see what happens with the wood chips, you can go check out some of my shorts, YouTube shorts. I think we just finished covering around our fire pit. They're titled Cher's Pit. There's like 2, 3, 4 of them. I think I'll have to check my shorts because I can't remember where I'm at. Because it's been a couple of days. Yesterday I didn't go live because it was raining. The day before, I want to say I was on Graham's Trail, but I could be wrong. Again, if anybody's watching this after it's posted, there's a link in the description, or there will be, either way. During the live, there's a description link. Once it's uploaded, I'll have to see if I can. Well, let me put the clickable link for my Patreon page. Not sure how that works, because the other day it was saying, last week it was saying that I couldn't post clickable links because my channel doesn't have enough activity or whatever. I don't know why that's a thing, but if the link doesn't work, go over to Patreon and maybe type in Brother Alec. It might work that way. I'm not sure. If you're interested in having a conversation about intentional community specifically for the homeless, but also for Christians, put it in the comments. I'll reply. Trying to think what else. I think I've got 2 more stops before I get home, and then I still gotta go to my mom's, take a shower, and then go home. So no idea what time it is because it doesn't show up when I'm YouTube live. So I'm gonna get going down the road. This is my journey. I'm trying to record my journey because my memory sucks. I've been blessed today, of course, with 2 jobs and the ability to come out here and get some free wood chips, talk with you guys, talk at you guys. If you have any prayer requests or praise of what God's doing in your life, put it in the comments. Give it a like. If you haven't already, subscribe. Get a notification bell going so you know when I am live. If you have the ability to, if you can figure it out, go check out the Patreon page. There are some good studies over there. I think I'm going to sit down and put a big one together. I'm not sure what the topic's going to be yet, but it may actually be on the intentional community idea. Not really a manifesto, because that sounds kind of I don't know, socialist, communist, whatever. But it'll be something that kind of details what I want to do, what I foresee it happening, what God's laid on my heart to do to give people an option instead of being stuck on the streets. I haven't had much luck with talking with other ministries about getting this moving forward because they're all like, oh, it takes years, and it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. Like, we have this problem right now. A lot of people are going to be on the streets. And maybe the state will move some of these people around to the warming centers that did get funding or did put their paperwork in on time so that a lot of people aren't on the streets. But yeah, I'm going to get gallivanting down the road. Maybe not. But I'm going to get off of here anyways. I think I'm going to start streaming on YouTube just Fridays for a little while. Maybe it's the first of the year, see how it goes, see what kind of views I get. I'm still going to be streaming on Facebook as many times as I can throughout the week. Sundays, I'm still not sure. Maybe I'll try to figure out, get some people moved over to Patreon so we can get some Bible instruction going on. At least some community going on. God loves you. And I hope that you have a blessed evening until, or at least the next 24, 48 hours, because I probably won't be on again until Sunday. So, well, I'll put a short up tonight for the wood chips, but how do I end this? I wonder. This over here? Nope. This over here? Sure want to stop streaming. Yes. Okay.